A very good evening and welcome to this edition of YES101 Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Tilakaratna. Let's begin with a look at your headlines.
Newsfirst headline.
Supreme Court acquits former prison commissioner Emil Ranjan Lamaheva. Vaskunavardhana and son gets 4 years of rigorous imprisonment for abduction. Broadcasting legend Sumana Nelampitiya dies. And finally, in international news, UK, Egypt issue alert for Iran-Lebanon airspace as risk of military conflict rise. The Supreme Court of Sri Lanka has ordered the acquittal of Emil Ranjan Lamaheva, the former prison commissioner who was previously convicted and sentenced to death. The conviction was related to the deaths of 8 prisoners during the Valikada prison riots. The decision came after careful deliberation of an appeal petition filed by Emil Ranjan Lamaheva, challenging the death sentence imposed on the 12th of January 2022 by a Colombo Special High Court trial at bar. The appeal was heard before a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court comprising judges Vijit Malalgoda S. Thurairaja, Shuran Gunratna, Achala Vengapuli and Priyantha Fernando. The case stems from the tragic events between the 9th of November and the 10th of November 2012 when riots in Valikada prison led to the deaths of 27 inmates. However, the Attorney General only found sufficient evidence with regard to the death of 8 inmates. The Colombo Chief High Court sentenced 5 individuals, including the former Deputy Inspector General of Police Vaskunavardhana, to 4 years of rigorous imprisonment. The verdict comes after prolonged legal battle stemming from the abduction of Dhanushka Nipana Ramanayaka, a student of an IT institute in Malabar, on the 4th of August 2009. The court found the accused guilty of 7 charges centered around the forceful kidnapping of Ramanayaka. Alongside Vaskunavardhana, his son Ravindu Samira Vaskunavardhana and police officers Indika Pushpakumara, Damit Priyankara and Shanta Lalit Vitana have been handed down the same sentence of imprisonment with hard labour. The presiding judge acquitted Shyamali Priyadarshini Perera, wife of Vaskunavardhana, and 2 other police officers, Lakshman Tilakaratna and Samantha Sandundi Sanayaka, of all charges. The nation is mourning following the passing of Sumana Nelampitiya, Sri Lanka's first television news anchor and revered figure in the field of journalism. Nelampitiya, who has been battling illness, passed away at the age of 80. Born on the 23rd of May 1944 in Colombo, Nelampitiya's charisma and talent were evident from her school days. She pursued her education at Nugegoda Mixed School Sujata Vidyalaya Nugegoda and Gautami Balika Vidyalaya, which laid the foundation for her illustrious career. In November 1967, she took a significant step by joining the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, where her majestic voice began to resonate with the nation. Nelampitiya quickly became a trailblazer, marking her name among the few women in radio at the time. She also played a pivotal role in revolutionizing visual media, becoming a household name as the country's first female television news anchor. Her role extended beyond that of an announcer. She was a versatile force in both radio and television, adept in program production. Her contributions to promoting Sri Lanka culture internationally are particularly notable as she conducted programs in the Sinhala language across the globe, enhancing Sri Lanka's cultural footprint.
International news.
Britain and Egypt asked their airlines on Wednesday to avoid Iranian and Lebanese airspace amid growing tensions. Britain's advisory to its airlines to avoid Lebanon's airspace came hours after Egypt instructed all of its airlines to avoid Iran's airspace for 3 hours in the early morning of Thursday. Many airlines globally are revising their schedules to avoid Iranian and Lebanese airspace while also calling off flights to Israel and Lebanon.
Sports news.
Team Great Britain won their 1000th Olympic medal as they took podium places in the velodrome and on the athletics track on day 12 at the Paris Games. Great Britain's team pursuit cyclists won silver in dramatic men's final before the women's quarter followed up with bronze. Matthew Hudson-Smith was piped on the line as he took silver in the men's 400 meters. Britain's George Mills was involved in dramatic collision and fiery confrontation as the men's 5,000-meter heats boiled over. Meanwhile, 51-year-old Andy McDonald stood out amid a youthful field in the men's park skateboarding final, and Charlie Hull endured a nightmare start to the women's golf. That's all the news we got for you on this edition of YES101 Visual Radio. Thank you for watching.